The far side of the moon bowled over scientists because they confirmed a very specific appearance from the near facet. The far side is full of holes. That's this kind of large difference that no one saw it coming. This massive distinction made human beings marvel about how the moon fashioned in ways that preceding theories failed to fully give an explanation for. People used to suppose that area turned into a big unsolvable wonder. Then, humans' clever use of technology started out a brand new era of journey. The James Webb Telescope is a progressive tool that we could see in addition into area and discover what kind of things are obtainable. Some people would possibly think that we recognize the entirety about the moon. If we can get to Mars, why cannot we do the same at the moon? Well, the moon has two facets. The close side that we recognize and the far side that we do not know lots approximately. But this will not be a secret for long. Space research has changed loads due to the James Webb Telescope. It has changed how we think about the universe. It has accomplished many fantastic things, consisting of locating hundreds of galaxies that now not even the Hubble Space Telescope had visible earlier than, together with its many other accomplishments. It took direct pics of exoplanets, which taught us a lot approximately the risk of life beyond our sun system. Another brilliant piece of technology is the James Webb Telescope. It's one of the maximum essential equipment ever made. We have found answers to a whole lot of questions through it. If the James Webb Telescope can help us examine so much extra about galaxies and the sun machine, it is probably capable of do even greater for the moon that's Earth's neighbor in area. This makes me surprised if traveling the dark side of the moon should be simply as clean. The name dark side of the moon isn't quite proper, regardless of what maximum human beings think. It's no longer referred to as the darkish side as it doesn't have any mild. It's known as that as it's peculiar and unknown. We nevertheless do not know the whole lot about this side of the moon. From Earth, the moon continually looks the equal to us in terms of its surface and tendencies due to something referred to as synchronized rotation. Only one aspect of the moon faces Earth at a time. The moon has been tidally locked for billions of years due to the complex manner that Earth's and the moon's gravity pulls on each other. To come up with greater records, tidal bulges happen on the moon's surface due to Earth's gravity. As time went on, these tidal forces slowed the moon's spin till it changed into locked-in region. So, the moon's orbital period, which is set 27 days, strains up with its spinning length. From Earth, we are able to only see the close side. Another famous false impression is that the far side of the moon doesn't permit any light through. However, this isn't always the case. The far side gets the identical quantity of daylight as the aspect that faces Earth. People regularly use dark side and far side to intend the identical element, but far side is extra correct. Exploring the far side isn't like exploring other facets. Radio waves from Earth cannot get via the moon because it is so heavy. This makes direct touch tougher. Earth has a breathable atmosphere that shall we radio waves move freely. The moon, then again, does no longer have a breathable atmosphere, so alerts are blocked. Real-time missions are hard to govern and maintain a watch on due to the fact there's no direct touch. This makes unfastened exploration harder. However, we are now in a time whilst endurance in area journey is obvious. Countries like the US and China are attempting to find out what is on the far side of the moon that we don't know. We have started out to make discoveries that cause new lines of research and speculation way to their hard paintings. The question still stands. Will China and the United States put apart their non-public differences in this exploration ride? Or will people get inside the manner and forestall development? The look at of the far side of the moon is not simplest a scientific task but additionally a check of the way properly nations can work collectively on one in all humanity's biggest journeys. In 2019, China's Chang'e 4 task have become the first spaceship to land on the some distance aspect of the moon. This changed into a huge step forward in exploring the moon. A rover referred to as U-2, Jade Rabbit 2, changed into dispatched on this adventure as a part of China's software to discover the moon. One of the maximum interesting matters it located at the moon's floor turned into an unknown substance that turned into different from the entirety else. Scientists think that this item might be a bit of the moon's mantle, which is the layer among the crust and the middle. It is thought that the mantle is made from heavy, thick rocks that are excessive in iron and magnesium. If this substance seems to be a chunk of the mantle, it'll be a very critical clinical finding. It would possibly inform scientists beneficial matters about how the moon works at the inner and the natural procedures that made its form and structure. This new information could help us study a lot greater approximately how the moon fashioned and how it has modified through the years. However, unique conspiracy theorists see this locating in extraordinary methods. They say that this unknown fabric will be a signal of greater extraordinary opportunities, like the presence of aliens or mystery buildings on the far side of the moon. Even though these ideas are not subsidized up by technology, they display that people are nonetheless inquisitive about lunar mysteries. Along with this locating, unusual patterns at the moon's floor, called lunar swirls, have been visible. These styles are light colorings that seem like swirls towards a dark background. Scientists think that those are made when the magnetic area of the moon interacts with the solar wind. It's thrilling that those swirls are handiest at the moon's closest side. This makes the far side even extra mysterious. The mysterious Hut event on the Chang'e 4 task also got quite a few attention. A picture dispatched by the Yutu-2 rover of what looked like a cube formed constructing on the moon's horizon turned into known as the mysterious Hut. This induced quite a few speculation until later snapshots showed that it became definitely a huge rock, which humans joked became the jade rabbit due to its shape. These findings and occasions display how mysterious the far side of the moon still is. As research continues, we are able to assume to discover more interesting matters in an effort to help us examine extra about Earth's neighboring planet and can even make us query what we think we recognize approximately the moon's geology and formation. China's Yutu-2 rover lately dispatched returned an ordinary and exciting photograph of an unknown structure inside the big empty scenery of the moon. A cube-shaped building became visible at the top of the horizon and turned into named the mysterious Hut. This caused numerous communicate and speculation approximately whether it turned into antique space equipment from earlier missions or a part of something from any other world. The rumors have been at their strongest till a later message from Yutu-2 made matters clear. The ordinary cube that looked like a hut changed into absolutely a large rock that humans known as the jade rabbit as it appeared so similar to a rabbit. This new data ended the argument and shattered both theories approximately aliens and ideas approximately humans residing on Earth within the past. Not only that, but the Yutu-2 additionally discovered clean glass spheres on the far side, which sparked hobby and brought about an increasing number of ideas of alien activity. Glass on the moon isn't a totally new finding. It has been seen earlier then and changed into typically notion to be resulting from meteorites hitting the moon or volcanic activity in the past. The uncommon functions of the glass that Yutu-2 specialists currently observed make it stand out in assessment to the standard glass formations determined on the moon. These examples show important variations. To begin, the glass spheres that have been determined are tons bigger than those that are commonly visible. In addition, their particular light brown color and ability to be see-through upload some other layer of thriller to their makeup. Could those be natural matters or things from other worlds? There's extra. If this wasn't sufficient to get your attention, at some point of the 1969 Apollo 10 challenge, Eugene Cernan and John Young heard an abnormal hum as they flew across the dark side of the moon. The sound becomes stated to closing for an hour and sound like someone buzzing. According to NASA, it became simply radio interference. However, a few ideas say it can be proof of alien hobby. Even though it sounds loopy, this is probably proper. We already pointed out how the moon blocks radio waves from reaching the dark side from Earth. We do not have the right technology to find out if there is lifestyles at the far aspect of the universe sending radio messages. Even although most of the claims approximately abnormal buildings found at the moon's floor aren't real, they keep humans guessing approximately what is probably on the far side of the moon. The glassy shapes and ordinary humming sounds on the moon may also appear like random occasions. But could they be signs and symptoms of something greater sinister? That's no longer the stop of the list. There are also a few secrets and techniques approximately the moon that now not even scientists can fully provide an explanation for yet. There are many interesting matters that human beings have visible at the moon over time, but one of the maximum well-known is the brief lunar phenomena, TLPs, which can be unusual flashes or glows of light that display at the moon's floor for short intervals of time. Astronomical records show that the first written statistics of lunar eclipses, which are also referred to as changes inside the brightness of sure places on the moon's surface, date back to the 9th century. While the word transient lunar phenomena was used before the 20th century, it have become respectable in that decade. There is still no clean solution to this question. After years of observe and research, TLPs are still a mystery to scientists. Many thoughts had been put forward to attempt to explain wherein TLPs came from. However, each one contradicts the one earlier than it. A lot of humans think that the TLP is